Yo, what is up, YouTube? I'm back with another catch-up monster, and I have been getting some comments about certain things from my tier list and also just overall, other questions and everything else. So I'm gonna try to go over them as much as I can, and this is also going to be a meta team, my personal meta teams. So I'm gonna give, I think I have about three teams to give you for endless. One kind of general idea for the dungeons, and then obviously a team for farming. The farming team is very it's very out in the air, so you can definitely switch whoever you want to. It's really up to you. So let's go ahead and start off with the number one dungeon team, in my opinion. Obviously you're gonna have to have a Doom Gator. My personal choice is my +10 Scythewing, and then on top of that you need damage. So let me explain. So the reason I have a Doom Gator is, for one, he has the 50% increased damage in the trial, so that's really good. And on top of that, he has a huge AoE stunning ability, and he can increase my pet's strength even further. So it's essentially like a 75% increased damage basically. So he's just very good for like passives and overall stunning ability. I know it's an 8 cooldown, but that's where these other two kind of pick it up. Scythewing, he is the best support monster in the game by far. He gives a shield, he has the best stun in the game, and on top of that he has a multiple hitting like Gale Moonblade slash, like a 4 crescent slash that essentially has a chance to place a vulnerability on them, making you do more damage. So like I said, this is all set up for Hydrolope to be the main damager, because whoever has the vulnerability on them, my 5 water shurikens from my Hydrolope is going to do even more damage. And to put it into more perspective, my Hydrolope is able to do easily, I want to say, if he attacks 5 times and my crit is ×3, I have the chance to potentially do 15 billion damage with just this move. And then the tsunami can come in and do like 10 billion damage. So I'll just leave it at that for the people who are saying Hydrolope isn't viable. But mine is mine is triple mutation, so that is why he's so viable in my books, because of the 60% crit chance as well. But yeah guys, that's what I kind of have as my go-to team for the dungeon trials. Now obviously these are like very hard monsters to obtain, but Hydrolope is easy to obtain, so I'm pretty sure most of you guys have a Hydrolope. My personal suggestion is don't evolve your Hydrolope unless he has a shiny, bloodlet, or huge mutation on him. Try to get some type of mutation on them. It's not hard to really get a mutation on the Hydra bits, because they're so easy to kill and farm. So it's pretty easy to get a trait on them. You want to try to wait for a huge though, because they give you so many shiny and bloodlet potions that you want to wait for a huge, because if you did the past event, like last week's event, then you could have gotten a shiny potion, and then this week's event you have another Blood Moon Rebirth Berry in the shop, which actually isn't that hard to obtain as long as you have a shit ton of eggs. But yeah guys, so yeah, that's my personal opinion for the dungeon team. And then obviously the rest of the monsters that you should add to your your 15 people limit count, whatever crap, should just be your strongest pets. And note a good note for the dungeons is that no matter the level, they're always going to be level 60 in the dungeon. So if you bring a level 10 Stoneward Knight, he's gonna be level 60 in the dungeon. So don't worry about them being unleveled and everything else. Now then, for the end list, my top 3 teams. Now, like I said guys, this is my personal opinion. I do need to climb it again, because the rank resets and everything else, and I haven't climbed it recently, so I'm at 0 on leaderboard. But yeah guys, so let me go ahead and give you my personal top 3 teams. You can kind of like, these are kind of interchangeable, so you can like switch between monsters, and obviously I'm just giving you the standard of standard because majority of people do not have a Frostiel, so I would not be adding Frostiel to my Endless Spire team, even though he would be very, very good. So first team that I'm actually going to start with is my go-to team. This is the team I always go for, and I think you should go for it too. So I use a Hydrolope, a Scythewing, and I like to use Celestide. That's just me personally, because Celestide has the healing ability, so he's kind of a tank. And the giant AoE Icicle Prison is another stun, so he has 2 stuns essentially. And Scythewing can kind of like, they can kind of make a type of stunning cycle, and then Hydrolope can pick it up with the damage. So it's a very like all-rounder type of team. Now obviously this isn't the best team, but it is a team that will surefire give you a chance to hit like floors 122 and up. So yeah, this is what I personally would use. You can definitely switch around depending on the enemies in the Endless Spires, but completely up to you. So that's the first team. Let me go ahead and show you guys another team that is some people like will actually like a bit more. Is Celestide, Scythewing, and where is he? Abyssal Drake. Now I need to upgrade Abyssal Drake for him to actually look a bit stronger, but yeah, so this is another team that I've seen some people talk about. This is because Celestide, Scythewing, and Abyssal Drake all have stunning abilities, and so you could technically speaking, if you're lucky enough, make an infinite stun type of team, because they all 3 have a stun ability. So this is a very good like mesh. So it's very, very nice. So yes, Celestide is still viable, is still usable. I just personally wouldn't choose him over Hydrolope. That's just me personally. And then last but not least, let me think of a team. This is also my kind of go-to team because it was just kind of in my head and I was just kind of, you know, I liked it, is Hydrolope, Scythewing, and Abyssal Drake, because of the potential for the double stunning ability like I just said, and Hydrolope just in the background just pumping that damage, bro. He's just pumping damage, because if you guys don't know, the tsunami also stops animations as well, so it's like a semi-stun, the tsunami, so it's like insane like overall potential and overall like combination, you know what I mean, like it's really good like combinations. So that's why I would personally use this as my main team if I had just had a better Abyssal Drake. And then finally, if you guys don't already know, my like favorite farming team, like example, what I mean by that is the team I use to farm Hydrobits, example, is I use Abyssal Drake for the 15% luck, so he gives me an extra 50% luck basically, and then I like to use Mint Gloom because of the 30% coin stacking. And me personally, I use a where is he? Is it Thunderjet? No, Thunderjet is like, yeah, Thunderjet is luck. It is, I believe, I think the highest one is Leodon. Yeah, I think Leodon is the one who gives the most EXP during a battle, I believe. I like to use a Leodon whenever I'm farming other monsters to like a high level. Like example, if I were to be farming, I would have Leodon here to get my Abyssal Drake to level 75 pretty fast, because while I'm farming he gives me an extra 25% increase in EXP. So let's go ahead and head to Neverland and fly to the Hydrobits. So because I also have the game pass, I'm getting 1,758 EXP every time I kill one of the Hydrobits, and usually I farm this game overnight, so 10ish hours, because I usually work around that time, and so yeah, 10-hour shifts and everything else. So that's how I usually farm the game. This is really just my go-to farming team whenever I am like, you know, just doing other things. I like having Leodon sometimes to replace my my stronger monsters, because I like to put these two as like my cannon fodder units. So example, like these two can be like Abyssal Drake and Mint Gloom could easily be swapped out for like a freaking random ass Hydropid, and then Leodon will be in the team. He'll give that increase in EXP, and so when I come back home, I'll have like 3 level 75 pets that I can use to fuse my other monsters to be max level without me actually having to farm late at night for these guys. But yeah, guys, I mean, other than that kind of covers majority of the teams. And for the people who were commenting about how, yes, I have Celestide and Frostiel in the A tier list, my personal opinion on it is Celestide is not as good because it is harder to get a mutation on Celestide than it is to get it on Hydropid. And on top of that, the ability, like the abilities wise, yes, Celestide has pretty good abilities, but the Ice Prison is not doing more damage than a 5 Shuriken Hydrolope. It's just not. Like an example, let me see, where's my Celestide? Yeah, my Celestide, he is doing 1.5 billion damage. I agree, that is a lot of damage, even though my Hydrolope has huge and has the increased damage from the shiny as well. He only has 1.2 billion damage. Now, however, because I have a 5 hitting attack, each one of those shurikens has a chance to crit on those, and each one of those shurikens has a chance to do 3 billion damage because I have a 60% chance to crit. You see what I'm saying? And so even though you don't have shiny, even if you didn't have bloodlet, okay, that's reducing your crit chance by at least 40%. So by base, you would have like a 15% crit. I would have a 20 because of my achievements passive, but you would have a 15% chance to crit. And even though you have a 15% chance to crit, you have 5 chances to proc that 15% chance. Now obviously it's super duper easy to get shiny on it, so that instantly boosts your chances by 30%, giving you a 45% chance to crit. Like, I don't think you guys are understanding the math on that. You see what I'm saying? Oh, sorry, not 45, 50%. Yeah, 50%? No, it's 45 because 30 plus 15, yeah, 45. Sorry. But yeah, the 45% increase in crit chance, that is basically a 50-50 chance. And that is just insane damage. Now, yes, you could have the same chances for Celestide, which is a 45% chance. I have a 50, like I said, because I have a 5% increase, whatever crap. However, he doesn't have a multi-hitting move that will give him the chance to even utilize the critting. So his damage is mitigated by so much. So I don't think you guys are understanding that whole debacle of Hydrolope versus Celestide. Oh, Celestide has a stunning and healing ability. That ability is so OP. Yes, in hindsight, yes, it is a very OP ability. But for me personally, I want a team of 3 monsters who each individually focus primarily on one skill. Example, my Hydrolope, I want him to only focus on damage. So that's why I like the fact that he only has damaging moves, because he's only made to be a damage monster. Secondly, Scythewing, I want him to be an only support character. I don't care about his damage as long as his support abilities help the team. That's what I really like. Thirdly, Abyssal Drake, an added amount of passives, stun, damage, all together. He adds everything to the mix. He adds damage, he adds stun, he adds a good passive. Like, just stuff like that. That is a very good third monster filler. Abyssal Drake fits all of those marks, and that is why I have Hydrolope, Scythewing, and Abyssal Drake as my like 3 monster team, because they all fill the role very, very well. Like, I don't want an all-rounder. No, I want an all-star in one category. I want someone who's really good at making 3-pointers but fucking sucks at defense. Why? Because I'm gonna get someone else who's really good at defense but who sucks at 3-pointers to protect the guy who's making 3-pointers. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why people there's a reason why teams will choose a very dominant character, because they're just so good at one thing that the rest of their skills does not matter to begin with. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how you optimize in games like this. You choose a monster that is really good in one field, and then choose another monster that's really good in the other field, and then choose a monster in between who's good at both fields. So therefore, on the whole like spectrum of it, the whole field is amazing. Like the stats wise, it looks amazing, and that is how you kind of optimize these things. Now, obviously, it really does. How do I explain this? It depends on the monster you're going against. Example, if you are going against a 5-person monster team, then you should switch off Hydrolope. Or, I mean, well, it depends. You can go into Hydrolope, which you can make a glass cannon team, which basically you kill one monster so fast that it doesn't get a chance to attack. Or you can go for an AoE team where you get a bunch of monsters that do a lot of AoE damage, and you can kill all of them in one go. That's gonna be hard, and you're gonna need a lot of health for that. But if you do the glass cannon team, you have to make sure your glass cannon team does enough damage to kill them before they can kill your guys. You see what I'm saying? So it really just depends on the monsters you're going against. Now, Frosty L. The whole thing of Frosty L, where I saw people were like, oh, 40 billion HP is an OP. 40 billion HP is an OP. Okay, yes, 40 billion HP is OP. I will say that, yes. However, are you gonna get a double S shiny bloodlit Frosty L? Are you gonna get that? For starters, are you gonna get an S rank Frosty L? Are you gonna get that? Because how if you have a Frosty L, how easy was it to get the Frosty L? Oh, it's pretty easy. Me and my freaking team who farmed the game so long had got Frosty L so easily. Okay, cool. Now compare yourself to the average player, or even the above average player. I would say I'm an above average player. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is levels to this game. There are people who no life the game, and those are the people who got Frosty L. And then there are people who play the game regularly, and then there are people who come play the game whenever they want to, right? So those are like kind of the tier list. Now, dungeons, I dislike dungeons a lot because of how grindy it is and how much you actually need a lot of good monsters to even play dungeons to begin with. It's just not fun for newer players. And I know, yes, it's not meant for newer players. However, it should some way, somehow be catered to some of the newer players. You see what I'm saying? Like, easy dungeon should not be that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should not need the meta team to solo easy dungeon. Now, yes, obviously, if you have the meta team, yeah, you already know you can solo easy dungeon. But, you know, newer players don't always have easy dungeon, or don't have the meta team. And on top of that, they don't have their monsters at, like, you know, crazy plus 10 enhancement stuff. You know, you see what I'm saying? So I just personally think it would be better if dungeons, for one, gave more materials, and two, just was a little bit weaker so that newer players can beat it. I know it's already pretty weak. Like, I can beat easy dungeon, so I'm not complaining. But I'm just saying, if you want more players to actually play dungeons, give them more rewards, because the rewards they're giving us right now is not enough. It really ain't enough, because the freaking 5 slabs is actually insane. Even making 1 slab is basically impossible. So the people with double S are actually like no lifing the game. Like, they have nothing else to do but auto farming dungeons with their friends. Straight up, that's how people are getting double S. Now, the one I showed you in my video was my friend, and he got that from a giveaway, so that's how he got it. So yeah, that kind of just puts into perspective how hard it would be to get a double S Frosty L shiny bloodlet. Okay, so yeah, sure, he's quote unquote OP, but that's like me saying, oh, Hydrolope is OP because I have triple mutation on Hydrolope. But not all Hydrolopes have triple mutation, so it's an unfair way to kind of rate the Hydrolope. Now, what I can say that's a bit easier to kind of argue is a Hydrolope with one of these mutations, because Hydrolope is so easy. It's so easy to get out one of these mutations on a Hydrolope, because, you know, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it by farming Hydra bits at least one night. You're guaranteed to get one mutation mutation on a hydrolope or hydrobit, whatever. So it's a bit easy for me to make that conversation, but Frosty L is by no means easy. I mean, I don't even have Frosty L yet. But yeah, enough of me yapping. That's just kind of what like I've been like, you know, kind of dealing with in the comments and everything else. So I just wanted to voice that for you guys. But if you guys did enjoy, and if you guys want more announcements, check out my description down below. That's the link to my Discord. And if you guys have any more questions, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that, and I would try to make more videos along the next coming update. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Later.